welcome to my channel and welcome to my tarot shelf here. I thought I would hop on and do a full moon tarot spread and journaling session. Today is August 19th and the full moon is today and peaks at 2:26 p.m. Eastern time. And that's just about what time it is right now. So I thought I would just hop on and take advantage of perfect timing and do a little spread and journaling with you all, and I thought you could come along and help me pick out the decks. But before we do that, just a little bit of background on the full moon. It is in Aquarius, and it is called the sturgeon moon, or I think the corn moon. A sturgeon is a fish, if you didn't know. And this is the first supermoon of 2024, so it's going to appear really large and bright in the sky. And it is also a blue moon, so a lot of energy happening here. And for a little bit of background, Saturn rules Aquarius, and Saturn, the Roman god, is known as a father of time and restraint. So you might find those themes popping up for you. And I thought the decks that would pair well are those that help me with patience and give me a little bit of comfort. And so here we are. So the first deck that comes to my mind when I think of comfort and patience is the Spacious Tarot. I think that would definitely be a good one. And let's also pick an oracle. So the Earth Magic Oracle really brings me comfort. It's one of my favorite decks that I have in my collection. I've had it in my collection for a really long time, and it is such a comforting deck in the way that I've had it a long time. I'm familiar with it, but it always provides such comforting messages. So let's go over to my table and hop right into the reading. Okay, so here we are back at my tarot and reading table with the Spacious Tarot and the Earth Magic Oracle cards. And I'm just going to set these aside for a minute. And this is my tarot spread journal currently. I have been using this for a little while. This is an Erin Condren spiral notebook with the customizable covers. I've had this for a really long time. I don't even know if she makes this cover anymore, but if you're interested in this style, that is where I got it from. So I've been using this to put all my spreads in, and it's been really, really cool and really fun. And I did a waxing moon spread. I've done a full moon in Capricorn. That was for July. So this has really helped me be more accountable for myself. And I thought it would be really fun to create a little spread here together. So I'm just going to kind of think out loud here for a moment, just to gather my thoughts. What has been happening is my anxiety has been increased lately, and maybe I could prompt a question about anxiety. So let's write full moon in Aquarius. Hopefully I spelled that right. Tarot spread. I like to put the date, so it's 8/19/2024. Okay, so maybe a question concerning anxiety. I've also noticed that my focus has been really lacking, especially within work, and maybe there's some ways that I could bring in the sturgeon energy, because a sturgeon is a fish, so that water, that flow, maybe there's a question I could do about that. And then I think that I always like to have a little bit more general questions. I don't know, let's just see where this brainstorming takes me. So what I really like to do is use the oracle as a clarifier, but this time around I think I want to incorporate it into the reading instead of it just being on the sidelines. So let's do that. Let's draw a little card here for Oracle. It's probably way too big, but just go with it. And I'll make a little key up here. So blue is Oracle. And let's assess where I am currently. Where I am now. The energy of where I am now to start. And then let's end it with where am I going? I think that would be a great beginning and end question, just to get a sense, lay the framework and the groundwork. Okay. And then let's do red for tarot. Okay, so I don't really like to do more than 4 or 5 questions, and I think I'm going to let the space here that I have designate that we'll be doing 4 today. So let's do 1, 2, 3, 4. Ooh, the third one's 1, 2, 3, 4. Third one got a little skinny, but it's okay. So let us think of the questions. So number 1, maybe a good introductory question to this reading should be something about the overall energy that the Sturgeon Moon has to offer. I think that would be a really great way to start. So what energy does the Sturgeon Moon, what energy does the Sturgeon Moon want? What energy does the Sturgeon Moon want me? That doesn't make sense. I have a better way to word this. What energy is the Sturgeon Moon, there we go, is the Sturgeon Moon calling me to embrace? I think that's a great question. And I really wanted to pop on and show you guys that creating spreads is a process, and you're going to have scratches and scribbles, but that's okay. That's what practice is about, right? Okay, so our second question. So I talked about anxiety, so maybe I could ask the cards how to be more efficient in reducing my anxiety and stress. So how can I be more efficient to reduce my anxiety and stress? Okay. And then I did talk about focusing and my struggle with focusing. So focus, when you want to be focused, you kind of want to get into that Zen state, that zone. And I have not been called to be in that zone. So maybe I should ask an action question on something I can do. So what can I do to create a better flow state to help me be more focused? And 4. Okay. 4. And then one of the things I mentioned over by my tarot shelf is the energy of patience. So with all of this anxiety and all of this struggle to stay focused, I feel like I've been so caught up in that, and I haven't really been very patient with myself that there's a lot going on, and of course I think it's only natural that I feel a little bit frazzled and anxious and am unable to focus. So maybe a question surrounding like, what can I learn? What can I learn from being more patient during this time of the full moon? Okay. Yeah, I really like that. I think we got some really good questions. Okay, so I'm going to set this aside and let us dig in with the earth magic. So I'm just going to get grounded, take a couple deep breaths. I'm going to welcome my guides, the energies of the sturgeon full moon. I'm going to welcome forward my ancestors and any other spirit guides, animal guides, to be present for this reading. And we're starting off with, where am I now? What energy am I currently in at this moment? Where am I this moment? And then, where am I going? What energy am I moving toward? What energy am I moving toward? Awesome. So I'm going to set this right aside there. And now let's go into the Spacious Tarot. Okay. Again, I'm grounding. I'm just connecting with the deck, connecting with myself, taking deep breaths, centering myself. I'm focusing on the purpose of this reading. What I like to do is ask each question one at a time, them one at a time, just so it's super clear. So the first question is, what energy is the sturgeon moon calling me to embrace? What energy of the sturgeon moon? What is it calling me to embrace? What energy? What energy? Okay. Question 2. How can I be more efficient to reduce my anxiety and stress? How can I be more efficient in reducing and stress? Okay, I feel like those two want to pop out here. Okay, question 3. What can I do to create a better flow state to help me be more focused? What can I do to create a better flow state to help me be more focused? And our last card, our last question is, what can I learn from being more patient during this time? What can I learn from being more patient during this time? Patience. What can I learn from that? What does patience have to teach me? Very jumpy today. It's good. Lots of energy. Patience. Okay. Beautiful. Okay. Let me set the Spacious Tarot aside. Okay. Let's start with our oracle. Where am I now? Island. Solitude. Ooh, that's such a good one. Yeah. It's interesting because we think of summer as a time of extroversion and being out there and being social. And I am just not that person. I get quite exhausted from a lot of social interaction and activity. So yeah, I have been a little bit on my own island lately, especially I'm thinking of, I have my own family now, but I do miss, my parents very dearly. They live about a little over an hour away, and while I talk to them weekly, or even more than that, I don't see them quite a lot. I don't get a chance to see them quite a lot, and I have felt a little isolated from them in general, and I think this is very accurate. I am currently in a state of solitude. So let's just see what the guidebook here has to say. And this is in alphabetical order. And this is really where I feel this deck shines. I'm in the S's, but I need to be in the I. G-H. Island. A solitary tree on this island, surrounded by the glassy sea, can evoke different feelings depending on one's perception and beliefs. The tree, which is in full blossom, stands out amid the relative starkness and is illuminated by a beam of light emerging from the otherwise dark sky. It's an elegant reminder of how even in what might appear to be relatively barren circumstances, there's still beauty and growth. Although an island like this can be a metaphor for isolation and desolation, the thriving tree proves that even in the harshest of environments, there is life. We can see the tree's spider-like roots spreading out along the rocks, seeking nourishment from the moist soil. The sense of peace and solitude depicted in this image provides nourishment for the soul. You need to take some time for solitude, preferably in silence, spending the morning, afternoon, or even the entire day by yourself, completely unplanned and unstructured. The bombardment of your senses by the noise and intensity of society leaves you on alert far more than is necessary. That is very true, and me to a T. The vibration of millions of people's worry and fear throughout the world can impinge upon you and greatly affect you if you do not honor your need to pull back from time to time. When you have passed through any self-constructed barriers to enjoying the quiet peace of solitude, it will serve you best if you simply observe the thoughts and emotions that pass through you, especially those that cause shortness of breath or a quickening heartbeat. Remember that isolation is experienced not by choice, but out of fear. Oh. When you decide to spend time with yourself in solitude, however, you are choosing to once again find and connect with who you really are. Wow, so this speaks to me in many ways. I think I've been going about my solitude in a very wrong way. I've been using it as a crutch, and I haven't been doing that deep, reflective thought and connecting with myself. That's definitely been a missing piece. So very interesting. And let's see where I'm going. Ooh, some fiery energy. Okay. Not gonna lie, this kind of scares me a bit. I don't want volatility in my life, but let's see what we can glean from the guidebook. I've gotten this card once before, and I know exactly what it was talking about, but I'm not quite sure this time around. So let's see. Pele is the goddess who lives on the big island of Hawaii, dwelling there in the craters of the active volcano Kilauea. She's considered passionate, volatile, and capricious, and is perhaps the best known of the panoply of Hawaiian deities. Since 1983, she has been sending ribbons of lava down the mountainside and into the sea, thereby creating new land. In this image, we see her subtle visage in the spewing fire of a volcano. In ancient Hawaiian chants, Pele is described as she who shapes the sacred land. That's beautiful. And it's from this magnificent and powerful goddess being and her periodic eruptions that the new earth is formed as the resulting lava merges with her sister, the goddess of the sea, Namakahuakihi. I tried my best, guys. The volatile and unpredictable nature of volcanic eruptions is widely known, and in spite of science's efforts at forecasting these blowups, they sometimes happen without warning. Whether the eruptions are slow and steady or violent and explosive, it's an unstoppable force, and one very dramatic way nature changes and shapes the land. This is a particularly volatile time for you. Unexpected changes, sometimes quite sudden and dramatic, are occurring in ways that you have absolutely no control over. These occurrences may be so powerful as to shake up what you formerly thought as of the foundations of your security. They may even cause you to reassess the direction your life is taking, to question some of your relationships, or to reevaluate the work you have chosen. Ooh, this is so interesting. Although these events may rock your world, know that spirit is the guiding force behind them. It is a matter of finding your trust that life knows what it is doing in the midst of these storms of change. It also requires you to make some adjustments quickly and not cling to what was, but instead move forward and welcome with your arms wide open what is yet to come, all from a place of being present in this moment. You truly have nothing to fear. Beautiful. So to me, this is speaking personally on a couple of levels here. There's a lot of change happening in my life. And one of them is my daughter, who is 4, is going into kindergarten for the first time in under or just about 2 weeks. So that's a lot of change. And in the background of my life, always is anxiety, right? I never quite know what it's going to do, when it's going to pop up. It's kind of always that underlying theme there. But I think what the message was saying in relation to the guidebook is you can't control those things, but you can embrace them. You can make them your own. And I really like that. I don't think I'll ever fully have charge of my anxiety, but there are definitely things that I can do to help minimize those explosions or recognize when I feel those coming on. So that's interesting. So maybe there's a lot of change coming up here soon in the next month. So this does make sense. I'm less scared of it as I was, as I said in the beginning when I flipped this over, but change is happening. So let's just write it. So now, knowing these energies, where I am and where I'm going, which are complete opposites, by the way, let's hop into the tarot cards. So what energy is the Sturgeon Moon calling me to embrace? Two of Swords. Okay, so it's calling me to embrace a decision. I don't quite know what decision it might be referring to or speaking of, but it's calling me to be decisive, I think. I think that's really what I'm gleaning. Just be more decisive this month between this full moon and the next one. Don't let indecision prevent you from moving forward, right? It's blocking our way here. Let's not let that be a thing. Be more decisive, which is always something I could use in my life, as I am terrible at making decisions. So, number 2, how can I be more efficient to reduce my anxiety and stress? So I have the 2 of Cups and the Elder of Pentacles, which I believe is the King of Pentacles. Oh, these are such beautiful cards to get. So the 2 of Cups, maybe I need to really spend some time reconnecting with my loved ones and my family. As I mentioned, I haven't really been able to see them in a while, so maybe reconnecting with them would definitely get me out of this island of solitude here and help me reconnect and put my mind on something other than my anxiety, which can be all-consuming, right? So maybe I can take an action, and maybe me and my partner can have a date night. It's been such a long time, something where I'm reconnecting with someone or others. And then we have the Elder of Pentacles, so the King of Pentacles. This is very interesting, and I think he ties in really well with the next question, which has to do with flow and focus. But he's calling me to kind of slow down, be more measured. I get so wrapped up in my anxiety and chaos, and the day to day schedules and busyness of life is definitely causes a lot of anxiety, or it helps perpetuate it, right? So he's just screaming in my ear, down, slow down. And I believe that will also help me to be more decisive as well. I think always, we feel pressure to make a certain decision in a certain time frame. And while that is important, that causes anxiety too. But take a moment, take a breath, and slow down. Beautiful. Question number 3. What can I do to create a better flow state to help me be more focused? We have the 10 of Wands. So yeah, what am I carrying that I can set down? I am juggling quite a lot right now in life. I have a daughter, as I mentioned, she's starting school. I have a full-time job, and I have some other personal things happening in my life all the time. That's been ongoing for over a year now. That can get quite chaotic, and I get so wrapped up in it. And then crazy me decided to start this YouTube channel, which I so thoroughly enjoy and is a place for my creativity. But perhaps I'm just juggling too many things. And what is it I can set aside? I don't have to carry all of these things all at once right now, because it's becoming heavy and it's becoming almost a burden in a way. I'm struggling to carry it all. Can I delegate a little bit more? Even at work, can I delegate some tasks to someone else? Can I ask for help? Can I ask my partner for help? I don't know, just don't be afraid to ask. And that is a huge hurdle for me as well. I want to so desperately be that independent person that knows how to take care of herself. And I do. I genuinely do. But at the same time, everyone from time to time needs help. So asking for that help, setting some things down, maybe reprioritizing what really matters to me right now, and maybe even making a plan for where to pick up those other things later that I can set down. And then finally, what can I learn from being more patient during this time? Oh, 6 of Cups. 6 of Cups. So, oh man, this is hitting me on a couple different levels. So, 6 of Cups, we think about that nostalgia and that childhood aspect. And in the fact that I have a daughter, it really is going to help me open my eyes to the context of this question, because little kids need a lot of patience. They take their time in doing things, they do them their way. And you're not just going to, if you have somewhere to go, you're not just going to really get out the door in 5 minutes. No, it's going to take time, because they're going to want to put on their own shoes. They're going to want to buckle themselves in, and they're going to want to run around the yard as you go outside and try to get in the car and all these things. So what can I learn from that? Maybe I'm being too structured. Maybe I'm being too structured. Maybe I need to give myself more space to just do things, right? To just do them in my own time frame. Now, I can't exactly help that in my work life, because certain deadlines are certain deadlines. But going back to this, maybe I can ask about certain things. Maybe I need to reprioritize. I think prioritizing will help make some space and room, and give myself, yeah, that breathing room. I just want to peek at the guidebook here, because I still think there might be a piece tied to patience specifically. I might be able to glean from it. So 6, kindness. That's a good keyword. And nostalgia. The 6 of Cups offers you a sweet and simple kindness. The large cup holds a bouquet of flowers and has offered them generously to the other cups. Look for the good in yourself and in others. Aw. What acts of kindness can you engage in right now to encourage personal and collective healing? You may feel pulled to reflect on the past. Find the sacred in the experiences that led you here. You don't need to don rose-colored glasses. But can you find ways to look back on the past with fondness? Send tender, loving care to both your past self and your present self. Oh, that's so beautiful. So just how or what can I learn from being more patient is to also embrace kindness. Be kind. Yeah. Wow, what a beautiful message. This was a great reading, and now what I like to do, now that we have done our spread here, I do like to go back in and answer these questions in my tarot journal. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I will be right back. Okay, so I'm back. I have just added the decks I used down here, and then I summarized each of the positions and the message that I gleaned. And then at the end of my readings, what I really like to do is take a step back and see what themes did I really take note of. And I pulled two cards, the Two of Cups and the Two of Swords, so connection and decision. So maybe I want to think about how those go hand in hand. It seems like an important message to bring forward, connection and decision. And then I noticed in a lot of the cards, there were pinks and greens, some pink, darker pinks, reddish there, greens, pink, greens. And so I just put down my associations for those colors. So pink, we have tenderness, softness, compassion. So maybe more of that cups energy. And then green, nature, earthy, being grounded. So the pentacles energy. And maybe I want to spend some time with these things and maybe journal them out a little bit later. But I think it's always good to take a breath and take some space to really let all of these messages sink in, sink in. And so that was that. Thank you guys so much for joining me on this impromptu full moon reading for the month of August. I really had a lot of fun with it, and I'm hoping that you got a firsthand insight into what it's like maybe creating a spread, doing it on the fly, knowing that it's okay to make mistakes, it's okay to change things and take time to really think it out. And until next time, see you around.